Hey guys, this is Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, and today we have another episode of free-to-play games of 2020, your best news source for new and upcoming free-to-play games. As always, let's go and quickly talk about the new free-to-own titles that Epic Games is giving away right now, and these new games are insane. From the 17th of April to the 24th, Epic is giving away Wheels of Aurelia and Just Cause 4. While I'm not discrediting the indie title Wheels of Aurelia, we all know the star of this show is Just Cause 4, a AAA game which focuses purely on chaos and fun. Epic has definitely been stepping up recently with these game giveaways, and this one is no exception, and it's also perfect timing due to this global situation. On top of this, they've also announced the next game in the rotation, and that's For the King, and that will be available from April the 24th to May the 1st. So each week they're giving out games, so if you want to stock up your library, this is your chance. Next up, let's talk about the free-to-play mobile release for Apex Legends, with Apex Legends being the Battle Royale game which took over the world last year. According to EA CEO Andrew Wilson, the mobile version of Apex Legends won't be available until the company's next financial year, meaning it'll drop sometime after October the 1st, 2020. Now, given the dip in popularity that Apex has suffered in the early months of 2020, this mobile release couldn't come soon enough, with games like Call of Duty Warzone taking a massive chunk of Apex's player base. In my opinion, more competition is always good, especially in the mobile space, so I'm keen to see how this will go and pan out. As always, I hopped into the free-to-play section on Steam to find some new games, and I found We Went Back, a recently released horror game with a very positive rating. According to the devs, We Went Back is a time-looping horror game in which you wake up in an abandoned space shuttle utterly alone. The exit door is locked, and you must find a way to escape what lurks within. Find clues, experience dynamically changing environments, and confront terror in order to find a way out. Personally, it seems pretty cool, and given the amount of positive ratings, it must be worth trying out. I personally haven't played it yet, but subscribe to hear my thoughts on it, either in the next episode of free-to-play games of 2020 or maybe in a top 10 list. Let's quickly talk about Valorant. The game is officially in closed beta, and the only way to get access is through Twitch drops. Now, initially Twitch drops was only enabled for a very few select streamers that Riot had handpicked to be Valorant streamers, official Valorant streamers, and now it's open to everybody. So if you're just playing Valorant and you enable Twitch drops on your account, then people in your chat can go and get access to that game. This is a good step, but it isn't far enough, as I know you and me and a lot of other people don't want to be AFK in a Twitch stream 24/7 for a very small chance to go and get access to Valorant. I rather just put my email onto the site and then I'll get the key whenever. It's overall quite annoying that this is the only system, but that's just what they're doing. One of the biggest free-to-play games, or just games for that matter, is Fortnite Battle Royale. However, over the last week or so, there has been some major hostility within the community, with the hashtag #RipFortnite trending on Twitter. The casual and competitive communities are both up in arms about the way Epic Games is handling Fortnite, which is ripping the community apart. I personally doubt Fortnite will ever 100% die, but it seems like Epic is not doing enough to please the community, and that's going to hit their numbers hard, especially with games like Warzone and Valorant coming out. It seems like Epic and companies like Activision are not listening to their core community and rather implementing systems like skill-based matchmaking to please the wider demographic. And while that is good in short bursts, for long play times, it gets very sweaty and very try-hard, and that's what we're seeing in both games right now. Talking about Call of Duty Warzone, it hit 50 million players last week, and for good reason. It's one of the best free-to-play games out right now. However, like all games, there is a problem, and for Warzone, that has been the hackers. Hackers in free-to-play games have always been an issue, as unlike pay-to-play titles, you can just keep making accounts if you get banned, and it seems like Warzone is the next victim of this. Many players have reported blatant hackers in their games with obvious cheats like aimbot and wall hacks, and even if they do get banned, they can just hop straight into another account and straight back into the game. The devs have lashed out at the hackers, but to no avail, and console players have been turning off crossplay so they don't get matched up with players hacking on the PC. Overall, it's a pretty bad situation, and Activision need to get on top of this before people start leaving for good. Hackers is one of the top reasons people leave free-to-play games for good, and I don't want to see Call of Duty Warzone be another page in that book. As we all know, because of the illness, video game player counts have been going up and up. And one prime example of this is Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which has seen a resurgence in activity. This resurgence is so large that CSGO beat Dota 2's long-standing concurrent players record with 1,295,971 players on April the 18th, where Dota 2's record of 1,295,114 players was set 4 years ago. This is a huge achievement and shows that Counter-Strike is going nowhere, even with games like Valorant clipping on their heels and trying to steal some of the player base away. Of course, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds takes the all-time peak of 3.2 million players, however nowadays it's sitting under Counter-Strike and Dota 2 consistently when it comes to concurrent players, showing that the staples of Counter-Strike and Dota are here to stay when it comes to people playing these games for the future. Many platforms have been following the direction of the Epic Games by releasing pay-to-play games for free to own, as in you click it, you link it to your account, and then you have that game forever. And it seems like PlayStation is up next with their Play at Home initiative. Basically, they're offering Uncharted, the Nathan Drake Collection, and Journey for free for a limited time through digital downloads from April the 15th to May the 5th. And basically, once you redeem those games, they are yours to keep. This is awesome because the Nathan Drake Collection has the free Uncharted games all remastered for the PS4, and then you have Journey, and that looks like a beautiful, beautiful experience. Overall, it's a great idea, and hopefully Microsoft and Nintendo get on top of this as well and have this whole free-to-own schedule for the Xbox and the Switch as well. One thing I want to mention is that I do top 10 lists on free-to-play games, and I want to know what my next list should be. I've done Steam games, I've done first-person shooters. Do you want low-spec games? Do you want just free-to-play games in general? Tell me in the comment section below and vote in the poll in the top right-hand corner. Your feedback would be very much appreciated. Another quick game to mention is Resident Evil 3 Raccoon City Demo. Basically, Capcom is doing another reimagining of the Resident Evil series, this time Resident Evil 3. And for this game, what they're doing is quite interesting. They're putting out a demo, a short tease, a short, taste of what this game is going to be about for free on Steam and the PS4. So you can hop in, try it, and just see what this game is all about before you go and buy it. I wish that more games did this. It used to be a thing way back in the PS2 days where you had demo discs and all that, but now demos are kind of falling off, but this is great. You get to taste what the game is about, and then you can make a judgment if you want to go and buy it. Personally, I haven't played it, but judging by the amount of reviews, 8,900, and the overall rating of very positive, it's very likely to say that this game is going to be spectacular, and Raccoon City Demo is a great taste of it. In the last episode, I mentioned that Warface is now on the Nintendo Switch. However, I hadn't actually played it at that point. A few weeks later, and with a Switch Pro controller in my possession, I cranked a few hours on Warface for the Switch, and honestly, I was quite impressed. Graphically, it holds up well, and more importantly, the frame rate is stable in both handheld and docked mode. Handheld, the game is okay, but the controls are finicky. The Pro controller made the experience a ton better. In general, Warface isn't the most exciting FPS out there, but being the first free-to-play military FPS on the Switch, it is really quite decent and my go-to Switch game for shooty action. Our final story for today is a short but sweet one, that being Mario Kart on the phone has finally released multiplayer. For those who are unaware, Mario Kart has been on the mobile for a decent amount of time as a free-to-download game, but it's been single-player only where you can only play against bots. However, last month, Nintendo opened up the floodgates and enabled multiplayer, where you'll be able to play with up to 7 players locally or online. It's quite a fun game and the perfect replacement if you don't have a Switch, so check it out. Before we finish up, I want to quickly mention that I have a new top 10 free-to-play first-person shooters list if you want more free-to-play games to play. And I also recently uploaded a video where I check out some awesome free-to-play browser and .io games. Links to both of those videos will be in the description below if you want some more games to play while you're stuck at home. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you did, make sure to go and smash that like button and subscribe for more videos on free-to-play games. But other than that, Undercover Dudes, all the way from down under, out.